And Saji, I think you finished your presentation with that very important question. It is not necessarily easy to create good and working partnerships, because many of us maybe think, we see that very often. One thinks of the organization rather than the challenge one wants to solve. And as I normally say, there is enough challenges for all of us, but we have to focus on the challenge rather than the organization. And so I'll go back to Julian. What is your, do you meet those challenges in the field of organizations that are not necessarily there to partner with you because they want to have their own organization in the forefront and in the driving seat? Is that a challenge you meet?
It's a good question. I would actually segment that to say that I think that what we've been trying to do is we've been trying to play in a particularly risky space. And what I often say is that Acumen has chosen to make our lives as difficult as we possibly can by being absolutely rigid to our core, which is, you know, our definition of low income, of bottom of the pyramid, is as low as you can go. $2 to $4 a day is hard. It's really, really hard. And what it means is that we have to kind of come to terms with the fact that we're going to fail a lot, and that's part of the learning, and that's just the reality. What we've seen, which is encouraging in some respects and less so in others, is that the space has grown from a couple actors to 300 plus actors. And what's happened is that we're seeing the definitions get muddied. What does it mean to be focusing on low income? Does it mean less than $4 a day? Does it mean less than $10 a day? What does it mean to make investments in energy? Is it nuclear power? Is it small scale husks from corn? So there's a delusion of the space, and I think that we see a real danger there that something that becomes very trendy and everyone wants to get a part of runs the risk of actually losing its credibility.
Yeah, that's a very important, we see that in a lot of these social enterprise areas. We will have to be a little short because we are, so I'll be strict, and Daryn, when it comes to this exact point that Julian said about, you might almost call it mission drift. People are there because it's cool.
Sure.
Do you see that in the impact investing world? Is there mission drift? Is there collaboration, willingness for the right reasons?
Well, I think it's a great question. One of the things that I think the example of Ben and Jerry shows is that you know, at a very significant size, operating in 34 different countries, a company's managed to you know, sell itself to you know, I think an incredible multinational company, but also keep the integrity for which it was created around its social mission. And in the many different countries that we operate in, we have an independent board of directors that is self-perpetuating, that basically re-elects itself without, there's one representative from Unilever that is on our board, which is the head of global supply chain for Unilever across the world. But the other board members are elected by the board in a self-perpetuating fashion, which is one of the most unique agreements of any company that's been acquired by another company in the world. So I think that what we have to think about as an industry within impact investing is not only the investment at the beginning of the cycle, but if these are to be successful and companies are to grow up, how they continue to get the financing that they need or even get acquired or IPO or exit and keep those values in place.
Yeah, I see that challenge. Ellen, when you require this collaboration and openness among your sponsees or clients, or Do you meet a fear of being too open? Are people ready to share knowledge and ideas?
It differs a lot, and it's also a learning process. So we can see there's a lot of reluctance first to go out of comfort zones, because this is what we can. This is what, and the incentives, especially for researchers, is to publish and then to focus on the new questions, and the broad questions is not what gives them credibility in the research world. But when they start doing it, they find it very, very interesting, and they try. It seems like it's a process to get them on board to address the big questions. And when they start to do it, and then have cooperation with people who see the world with different views, they seem to be more and more interested as the process goes on. And young people seem to be more interested in making a difference with the research they are doing than, for example, the professors that has been in the area for a long time. So,
so there is hope.
The young people are the future, of course.
The young, We will be, at the end today, we will finish off with the young people showing how they want to change the world. So we can look forward to that. And Geir, Arne, maybe since Saji was last, you will go first. You collaborate on a business basis with NGOs and with government and with other large companies. What challenges do you think are the most prevalent?
I think one of them is being a small company, you have a tendency to want to do everything and to get a little bit too stretched. That's our problem. So I hope we will solve that one. But we should not underestimate the challenges of working both within an established system that has very rigid structures as the Norwegian school system. We think it's easier to go to work and cooperate with people working in societies where in a Western sense we have a disruptive model for doing education. But when it's not that much to disrupt, it's not that disruptive. So we think it's actually easier to go in and cooperate and find good solutions in areas where you don't have all the structures already in place and it has been there for at least 40 years or 30 years or 100 years. So you see different challenges in both areas. The rigidness of well-established structures, but then of course the difficulties in creating something that is sustainable, that is based from bottom up and so on in more challenging educational areas. So there are two very different challenges.
Yeah. Saji, you'll have one sentence before we invite Kyle, and your last name is very difficult. O'Donnell? O'Donnell, okay, to come up and to teach us about storytelling, which is also an important part. But Saji, one comment. What is the most challenging thing you find with partnerships?
The most challenging, I think, is what I closed on, is our desire to do good sometimes overwhelms us, that we end up sometimes causing more harm. And the need to balance our very best of intentions with making sure that our harm is actually reduced is, I think, so much more critical in this complex world we're living in.
And the most rewarding?
The most rewarding is actually to enable people to actually create change for themselves. Most changes in the world have happened by people, not institutions, not corporations, not governments. It's created by people, and creating that enabling environment for people to shine, for people to thrive, is absolutely empowering. That's the hope that we all have, that that's going to happen.
That's a good final comment, I think, and thank you very much.